Good afternoon and welcome back. Celtic have just won in penalties at Ibrox, and there was crazy scenes at the end of that game. Tam the Czech scored the penalty to take Rangers through. Tam the Czech then went like this along the side of the Rangers fans, and the Rangers fans didn't like it at all. Well, Celtic players were attacked by Rangers fans. It was the case that Celtic fans did enter the field of play first. They did not go further than the goal, but the big headlines will be the fact that Celtic fans went on the pitch first. It will be the ugly scenes, the fact that Rangers fans then went onto the pitch and threw missiles, etc., at the Celtic fans. I've got to say, it was ugly scenes by it. Celtic knock Rangers out on penalties. The headlines will not be about the game at all now. We should all be talking about the fact that Celtic, after 120 minutes of not playing good football, managed to get the penalties. When it came to the penalties, we'll talk about that, but the headlines will be about the fans going onto the pitch. I'm just trying to see if there's any headlines coming through. Can he hack it? Yeah, they can't hack it, can they? I am devastated that it ended as ugly as that, because what it will do is it will make sure that there is no big away fan base again at these games. You know, the fact that Celtic have done it, Celtic got it over the line. Will there be a ban for Rangers fans? Will they let off pyrotechnics? They're on a ban for that, but ugly scenes that you do not want. I mean, the last time we've seen stuff like that, obviously, was when Rangers were beaten by Hibernian. Remember that game? The Rangers fans went on the pitch with that as well. They're not very good at losing, are they? When it comes to Celtic won on penalties, that's all that matters. We are through to another game in Hampden. There is another game that's playing this afternoon, and then the draw. I think that the draw will be, is the draw tonight, or is it Monday night for the games at Hampden? Let's talk about some of the players. There was a lot of players that actually played that game today that, let's face it, were not very good. There's players that came on at half time and players that came on at full time that just aren't. I must have known that the scoreline, historic night. They aren't Celtic standard. You know, Joe Mavuka, not Celtic standard. Tam the Czech will be remembered for scoring the goal, but he never really done anything in the game, did he? There's a big fat reality check for Celtic after this game, a massive reality check. You know, the pitch invasion will get all the headlines. Celtic, it'll be recorded in the record books that Celtic got through. But the fact is this team and these players. Sorry, I'm just trying to update something. I'll update this. Change that. Oh, no, don't change that, and then save that. I'm going to jump into some of the comments, see what you think about it. Zombies attacking the players. Well, that guy's going to get jailed, that's for sure. Player did try and attack Tam the Czech. Shows how pissed they are when they can't beat a piss poor Celtic team. It was one of the worst Celtic teams. Let's face it. It was. Was it the worst? If it wasn't the worst, it was one of the worst Celtic teams that I've ever seen perform at that stadium. We were there for the taking. Let's be honest. When you look at the way that the team started, Sinisalo, Araujo, Arthur, Trusty, Scales, Benjamin Arthur, he couldn't see out the game. He wasn't good enough. We brought on Dane Murray, who was absolutely fantastic, made some cracking blocking tackles. When you look at Scales getting booked earlier on, I thought Scales was going to have a bad game. He ended up having not a bad game. Rio Hatate has to do better. Luke McCowan is not the answer long term for Celtic. he will not be taken over from Callum McGregor. Tenecti was replaced, which was a weird one. He was replaced also, and Mvuka, Tam the Czech came on. Oxlade-Chamberlain, he's not living up to the big name and the big price tag that he once had as a player. But when it comes down to it, let's jump into and listening to.
On penalties, let's get some reaction from their winning goal scorer and their goalkeeper with Connie.
There's the winning goalkeeper.
Phil, Tomas, congratulations. That was ultimately a memorable game, but maybe for the wrong reason. Talk us through what happened, what you were seeing at the end.
Yeah, it's a tough one. There's no derby like it. There's no derby like it, and
there's no doubt we like it.
It's not going to take away from what we've done here today. We've come here and beat them, and we're into the next round of the cup. So that's the main thing we can focus on.
When it was such a hard-fought victory, going all the way to extra time, going all the way to penalties, is the concern is that this is what we're talking about? I can see the blood, Thomas, on your shirt right now, rather than the fact that you're now through to the semi-finals.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough game, and then in the end we just knew that we have to be calm in our heads, and we have quality in the team. So I trust that everybody who is on the penalty gonna score. So then it was quite easy.
Talk us through that moment when you're standing there. You know what that penalty can mean for you, for this club, and for the momentum that could bring. What was in your mind?
Yeah, of course, it's a lot of pressure. Also, we was on the opposite side of the pitch where was the fans of Rangers, so it was a lot of pressure, and yeah, I just knew what I have to do, and I do it.
Phil, you were sensational at points today, and you've talked about the fact you come in, you take your chance. You certainly did that. But what about this group of players? There's been an awful lot of question marks, asked and questions asked towards you. What does it say about where this team are now?
I think it's clear for everyone to see. I think everyone's playing for the badge. Everyone's showing a bit of heart. That's the thing that's getting said right before we go out, is show a bit of heart and desire, and I'm sure everyone can see that. As a player, it's so pleasing to see. Everyone's making blocks, everyone's working for each other, and the main thing is that we're being good teammates to each other. It's not easy coming here, winning. It's not been an easy season. No, we can't hide away from that. But in times like that, you've got to be a very good teammate, the best teammate you can ever be. So whatever that means for you individually, you got to be that. And I'm 100% certain everyone was that today, and that's why we've gone and got the result.
A first opportunity for you to go to Hampden as well, Tomas. A first, you're now beginning to experience life in Glasgow, the madness that we just saw there. Has it even surprised you how intense this place can be?
No, it doesn't surprise me. We already know that it's going to be a tough game, that it's a tough place where to play. But we have behind our back 8,000 supporters, and so it almost felt like home, to be honest, because there was pretty loud. So yeah, we are just happy that we win the game, and we keep.
Almost felt like home.
Appreciate your time. Well done, guys.
Thank you.
Absolutely fantastic from Sinisalo. Sinisalo, fantastic player. Sinisalo for me was the number one. I am just going to go and do a selfless bit of promotion. This bit. Everyone just seems to be running slow here. Celtic fans are still inside Ibrox. Why is that running slow? Let's get off that screen. Go on that one. Just see. What is going on with that? This is how it all unfolded. Don't tell me. Shit. Shit. Not site ground. Sorry, I'm just doing. Let me just let you listen into this whilst I seem to have a bit of an issue.
Overthink things as well, but listen, it's an absolute lottery. But as I says, I mean that's. And if a keeper goes the wrong side and you put it the other side, then it's a brilliant penalty. Do you know what I mean? So there's so many thin lines within everything.
It's a great penalty.
Not like this one over the bar.
Yeah, I hit one in the semi the last time, 2016, and I went first and I managed to score. But I just simplified it, like Scotty said, in terms of just picked my side and put it there. Thankfully, it went in. But the important thing for me as well is you've got to volunteer as a player for me, because some players just doesn't suit them. Obviously, Celtic.
Sam, what's going on with the site ground?
Sometimes when you've played and been up against it so much in a game, you feel it's a ball.
This is the day. This is the day that we win away.
And the Rangers players must have been feeling as if we don't win this, now it's a disaster, and that's kind of how it looked when they were taking the penalties.
Yeah, we saw Martin O'Neill there at the end, and again, he's seen a lot of things in football, but I would imagine the overwhelming emotion there was relief, Michael.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt. I mean, you heard him talking before the game. He's never enjoyed a game of football as a manager.
Conquered.
So you can imagine he's been through the ringer there, and it will be relief, because you can put a brave face on things as much as you want. He'll have been going into that game minus the key players, and he would have been extremely apprehensive, and he would have been thinking, just please, just get through this game. And that's what Celtic have done. You know, we spoke about it before. There was a way that Celtic were going to win this game, and it wasn't going to be through, pretty brilliant football. It was grit and determination. The challenge was for Rangers to try and break them down, and they've not done that. And
Celtic fans are still inside Ibrox, loving every minute of it.
Very interesting to see what happens, because I think for Rangers, they've brought an intensity down the Realty's game. We spoke about it at half-time, wanting to make a sub to continue that. And this game, he would have hoped, would have been the catalyst to continue that intensity for the rest of the season. Like, things were just going to exponentially get better. The fear for them could...
Right, anyway, let's get back into some of the comments and see what you're saying. Emma keeps going on about the hooligan Huns. Yeah, where is Chris Boyd raging? Role giving Philip Clement vibes already. There's Martin O'Neill. Let's listen to Martin O'Neill.
To the semi-finals, but I think everyone at home is going to be talking, unfortunately, about the scenes that we saw at the end. Yeah. Are all your players okay? Is all the backroom staff okay?
Yeah. It looks as if there was a few tete-a-tetes anyway, as much as anything else. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but hopefully it doesn't dilute the performance or in terms of character. All the things that we had, it was our fourth game in 10 days. And we were really, really out on our feet, but we defended magnificently, absolutely magnificently.
I'm glad that Martin was honest.
Throwing their bodies in the line, all the things that you can describe. I've got the utmost regard for the team.
The unfortunate nature is, despite all of those great things that you're talking about, the intensity, and we spoke about the energy of this game beforehand, which we all know and understand. When that spills over, that becomes the story. So
that may well be, and I'd need to have a think about it. Really, at the end of the day, Old Firm games, they're explosive. They're explosive games. They've always have been, and maybe that's one of the reasons that the derby is one of the best in the world.
Talk to us a little bit then about your team, how that feels, and getting through to semi-final.
It was great, really, really great. As I said, we had to defend for long periods in the game, and we did that magnificently. It was a tough afternoon for us, but we came through it, and we finally won the game. Doing
that as well, without your captain, without Kieran Tierney, all those big leaders that you have in this team is something special. I think that was the big thing. We're obviously, when those two players drop out of the side, then it does leave a hole. It leaves a hole in terms of leadership. Although I thought that Scales was just absolutely outstanding, as was the whole team. But he was outstanding. Took over the captain's armband, and he led by example, as the way that Callum has been doing here for years and years. Now, it means you're through to a semi-final, obviously. The momentum that we spoke about before the game, that potentially could give you for the rest of the season. But what does this now tell us about Celtic and where you're at now?
Well, I'm not sure what it tells you, but I just today it was a great afternoon for us because we've won the game. You know what these matches are like. You know, you end up losing the game. We could have lost the game in penalties, or we could have lost the game in normal time. We could have lost the game in extra time. But they didn't. They refused. They refused to lose the game, and I think that's really significant. You know, we have. There's certain aspects of the team that you'd like to think, well, listen, we can improve, we can do much better, we can do this, we can do that. But in terms of spirit and things like this here, it was remarkable, absolutely remarkable to come here to Ibrox and go and compete there for the 120 minutes or whatever it was, and then go and take the game in penalties. As I said to you, our 4th game in 10 days. And I don't think that can be forgotten, because there is an excuse for the lads not being able to run anymore.
We spoke as well, just a final point, about how exciting it was having the extra fans here, having that atmosphere. Is the worry now that we might not see that again for a wee while?
Well, I would certainly hope not. I hope not. I hope that well, it was only a cup game for a start, so I don't know what the SPL will be thinking about at the end of it all. You're asking me a lot of political questions here at this moment, where I am actually in euphoric state. The fans have spilled over. Big scenes there at the end, and scenes all over the place. So it's not me diminishing it at all. I will have a think about it and speak to you in due course. But at this minute we've won the game. Although you would hardly tell by my face that we've won it. But
I was going to say.
Yeah, but we've won it. Yeah, it was a long afternoon, but they've seen it through. And in all honesty, I mean, we talk about the crowd. The crowd kept us going during the course of the afternoon, as they have done in previous times.
Well done. Maybe you can enjoy it now.
Thank you.
That is Martin O'Neill talking about the game. The Rangers fans are heading out. Celtic fans are now leaving the stadium. Celtic fans are now allowed to leave the stadium. Absolutely ugly scenes. Celtic fans went on the pitch to celebrate with their players. Celtic fans were taking selfies with the players. The Rangers fans came on with balaclavas, and who goes to a game dressed with a blue balaclava. But anyway, there's one thing for sure, it doesn't matter because Celtic won it. Martin O'Neill was really honest, and that's what I like about Martin O'Neill. He was really honest about the state of the team. We didn't play particularly well. We defended for our lives. We defended as if our life depended on the result. It was a fantastic defensive performance, and I love the fact that the police are inside the stadium trying to stop Celtic fans getting onto the pitch when they just allowed the Rangers fans to just walk out the stadium. And obviously no arrests will be made for Rangers fans. It's just the way that football is. Although there was one arrest for the player, the Rangers fan who tried to attack the Celtic winning penalty taker. He'll be in the cells all night. Karma. Anyway, Rangers fans, shameful as always, is some of the comments. And comments coming in from other fans also. It was organised trouble by them. That's why they'll be punished. It's not called Scotland shame for nothing. I'm going to jump in to get as many of the comments as well. Typical Huns can't behave themselves anywhere. It was a brawl, and we kept, talking about the game. Martin O'Neill said that these players are out on their feet. Callum McGregor out on his feet. He's got the same injury that he had towards the end of last season. Players that are coming on just no good enough. There's no words that you could say after what Martin O'Neill said towards the end in that interview. He knows that the players were he thinks that the players have gone over and above. And you can't. There's Paul just put a cracking one up. We can't criticise these players. 4 games in 10 games with good outcomes for us. Sausage roll will be like a sauerkraut in the interview. Cup van for them. Derby games for the away support will be banned for sure. Yep, they took 4 penalties. They missed 2. Yeah, this is very true. Celtic got ours. Beautiful Sunday. It is an absolutely wonderful Sunday, to say the least. Lavie Rowe will try and be the graceful in defeat. Well, will Danny Rowe even speak to the media after his fans invaded the pitch? And how will the Scottish media see that? Will they blame Celtic fans for going onto the pitch and celebrating with the players, or will they tell it as it is? And Rangers fans went on with balaclavas. Make sure that you watch out. I did manage to video the whole escapade, so we will get that video up to show the mutants exactly what they're like. It's never good scenes at football. Football shouldn't be about violence. You know, we thought that those days were long gone behind us, and especially when you see the amount of police that were in the stadium. Why weren't the police at... I mean, when you go to Celtic Park gets surrounded by stewards and everything. But anyway, wasn't a great game. Celtic did what they needed to do. And I've got an issue with the website that I need to go and sort out. Let me just try and see if it's back up. Seems to be issues with Cloudflare again today. It's nothing that we could sort out. Let me just try and Google. Try and click on this. Nope, the site's down. Yeah, it's Cloudflare that's down because all the sites are down. Right, anyway, that is me done and dusted for there. I'm going to go and take the dog out. I'm going to go and enjoy myself. I will be back on later this evening as we digest the outcome of the game today. It was absolutely fantastic that Celtic won on penalties. I wasn't looking forward to it. When you seen the team that was set out to play the game today, no Captain Kalmak, no Kieran Tierney, no Arnie Engels. You know, quite a lot of important players missing for Celtic. And you missed those big players during the game. Tam the Czech, come on, I'm going to be honest. He scored the penalty, but he was absolutely woeful. He is not the long-term answer for Celtic. Make sure that you join me tonight because we need to talk about the future and what this future really holds. Martin O'Neill will do his best to get this team over the line. Sean Maloney and Fozzie will do their best to get this team over the line. But I tell you one thing, it's papering over the cracks because this team needs a big bit of surgery in the summer. Whilst we can all relish in the moment of beating that lot, it's absolutely fantastic to beat them. Let's just be a little bit humble and not go down the route that they've went down. It's not all about violence at football. Celtic won 4-2, a margin that you could never see after 120 minutes. Celtic scored. Daiz Maeda scored at the header. Come off Liam Scales' head. Liam Scales' heel was offside before he even ran to get the ball. Rangers scored it in extra time. That wasn't even a goal. The guy put it in the back of the net with his hand, for goodness sake. It wasn't even a case of offside. It was a case of he tried to thought he was Maradona. And there is only one Maradona. He's dead. But anyway, God bless the legend. Because he was one of us as well. Anyway, have a fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world. Right. God, who said have a game without a drink? Kind of crazy idea was that? Oh, love it, love it, love it. Right, what do I press? Press this one. That's it. End video.